In today's sports wrap, the San Francisco 49ers dominated, and dominated indeed is the word, their division rivals, the Arizona Cardinals, after they clashed last night in Mexico City. That was fun. All right, to break down that game and other great moments from Week 11 in the NFL, we welcome back CBS News special correspondent and host of the NFL Today, James Brown. JB is also the host of Inside the NFL, available exclusively on Paramount Plus. JB, wonderful to see you, as always.
This is the fun part of the show where Vlad, like, okay, JB, what are you venting about today? Why are you sweating? Meanwhile, I'm getting the very hard, insightful, journalistic questions.
That's Elaine.
I know.
I'm just the blabbermouth. Elaine is the one who actually does the journalism around here.
No. We gotta bring viewers up to speed. So
you're right.
I'm gonna tee you up with this question,
okay.
right? For instance, in our household, we talk about teams like, Detroit, the Bears, Miami, right?
Okay.
These are all teams that we root for. But you have an eye on the big picture here. Tell us who are the main Super Bowl contenders in your eyes.
And I'm going to come back to those. Those are great mentions, by the way, that your household is discussing.
They're emotional, some of them. Not having to do with actual, perhaps, performance.
I don't know
results.
very many unemotional sports fans. In terms of, I guess the operative question is, who are the pretenders, who are the contenders? I think we're still at the point of finding out. We still have a lot more season left. Although teams at this point have established an identity, and you know what some of the weaknesses are and some of the strengths are. So that much has been determined, but the season is not over. Gosh, the Cincinnati Bengals at about this point last year, they were 5-4, but yet they go on to the Super Bowl, and not many people gave them a chance early on. The big question is, when you have matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and the Dallas Cowboys, people were thinking this is going to be a statement game by one or the other. It was for Dallas. But can you say that Dallas is absolutely, definitively the team, as their owner said? Yeah, the elements are there for a Super Bowl team, but you can't write them in. Minnesota, many people were thinking they were 8-1 going into this. You know what? Maybe they're not pretenders anymore, but they laid an egg. But you know what? Dallas had a great game plan. So the point I say is, you know what? Hold up, folks. We still have a lot more season left to go. Let's see how it plays out.
So there have been a lot of talk. There's been a lot of talk, JB and Elaine, from pundits about certain teams that are not meeting expectations. Pundit is a good word because you're not in the trenches. You are armchair quarterbacking. That's where that term comes from, right? So what are they missing about what's happening in the game?
But you two are just on fire this morning. Can I carry you guys with me? Because you're right. A lot of the pundits, not the ex-players or coaches who've been there, as you were intimating. They've been there. They know the insides. But there are those who just have a fixed notion that a certain player or team just doesn't have it. For instance, Miami, Tua Tagovailoa, who has been roundly ripped since he came into the league. Well, because the team went out and did the right thing to surround him with some great talent. Tyreek Hill, blazing fast. Players are afraid to defend him. Waddle, his a side mate. And Tua Tagovailoa, all he can do is dink and dunk, short passes. They're like blasting him because they don't think he has the same kind of arm that Josh Allen with Buffalo has or Aaron Rodgers. So what? The team leadership is supposed to surround him with weapons that maximize what he brings to the table, and he's doing it magnificently. So can we just give him credit as opposed to looking down the road, say, well, this is where he's going to fall apart? Give me a break. If you've not been out on the field, John Madden, the iconic broadcaster, used to say, unless you've stepped across those lines to play this game, and I don't mean this in a pejorative sense, but it's a brutal game. That's a man's game out there. And unless you've been there, don't go there.
So, you bring up a really interesting point. So I wonder, in addition to Tua, who else out there playing right now as an individual is really somebody who stands out to you? Because there is so much criticism. There is so much scrutiny. There always has been. But you're right. At this moment, we see a lot of that sort of laser focused on certain
No question
people.
about it. And even though I don't hear Chloe or Russ in my ear, I'm sure they're saying, JB, you got a bit in the very left here now. Can I say thank you very much? Because my third point will be to give a tip of the hat to coaches and players who have performed well, but maybe not getting enough credit. I look at Ron Rivera, the head coach of the Washington Commanders, with all that's been going on with ownership and the front office there, with him, distractions galore, with him battling and overcoming cancer, thank God for that. And also with the quarterback situation there, and his mom passed recently. He's got that team in good position at 6-5 to be a contender. I look at Geno Smith, the quarterback who forever has been thought of as a backup. You know what? Pete Carroll, the coach, saw something in him. He's been in the league for 10 years. He is now in the MVP conversation. He may not and probably won't win it, but he's doing well that way. Taylor Heineke, a backup, he was in class at a local college when he got called into action, and the players love him. No, he is not an elite level quarterback, but he's playing with determination, grit, and heart and soul and doing well. Give him some credit. Mike McDaniel, the coach of the Miami Dolphins. So coaches are critical in the mix at this point in time, as well as players. Give them a tip of the hat for what they are bringing to the table, because it is a tough game.
And JB, you make it easy for us to understand this game, and we thank you for it. I love having you here always. And look at this. We were just saying this is the OG team here. Me and Elaine, going back to 2014,
That's
baby.
right, throwing it back.
Talk about surrounding yourself with talent that makes you better.
She wouldn't keep on it. She would say, look here, my family's going to want to know the answer to these questions. You better have it right.
Well, especially on Tua, so I was listening for that.
JB, thank you, my friend.
So
As
much.
always, we appreciate it.
Okay.